If you are looking for a sign to go to therapy, then this is it. So have you been thinking about going to therapy for some time and you haven't really gotten into it, or you are afraid to go to it, or you're just really thinking about it? Then I am here to hopefully convince you to go to therapy, but most importantly to shed more light on how therapy is, on the process that is involved, on what to expect, and last but not least, how it works. So the first thing is that therapy, for those who might not know what it is, a counseling session is where you sit with a therapist or a professional. So for whatever issue that you may be having, then you can be able to get a solution to it. So one thing that you should know about therapy is that your therapist is not there to give you solutions. They are not there to give you guidance and counseling or advice. They are there to give you professional insights, tips, coping skills, so that you can be able to get into a better space to be able to make the decisions on your own. The other thing to know is that therapy is not just like talking to your friend or your pastor who will tell you, let's pray about it. Therapy is usually where you get to do most of the talking, and then you get professional advice, professional insight into what you're going through, so that you can ultimately solve your issues and see what is not working for you so that it is better. The other thing to remember is that confidentiality is very, very key. Confidentiality means that anything and everything you share remains in the therapy sessions, unless you are at risk of harming yourself or another person. Then I will be forced to share about it so that we can make sure that you're safe. So if you are afraid of talking to a stranger, or what will they think about you, then know first of all, they are confidential. The other thing is that we do not judge. There is something that we call empathy, which is different from sympathy, where we get to put ourselves in your shoes so that we can be able to help you understand where you're coming from and be able to help you. So at least there will not be judgment, there will not be like, guy, you did that, you must be the worst person on earth. No, it is usually different, so that is why people find it very helpful. The other concern that people usually have is how they get to feel after the therapy. Sometimes before therapy, one may be anxious, what will happen, how will it go? But it is fine, it is very fine. Just think about, especially if you want to lose weight, do you just go to a gym in one day and lose all the weight? No. Of course, if it took you all this while to gain the weight, the same way, if it got you to a long time to get this stress, to get this distress, of course it's going to take time for you to get better. So give therapy time so that you can be able to now get to see the results. Sometimes you may leave feeling happy, sometimes you may leave feeling relieved, but sometimes you may feel sad, sometimes you may feel confused, sometimes you will feel like, I will never go back to that therapist, and it is completely okay. Just communicate about it. Something that is very important to also know is that sometimes our clients tend to fall in love with their therapist. Why? Because I am there, I am listening to you, I am giving you this unconditional positivity, and you might find that you really like that because that is what you're looking for in a partner, which is very normal to happen. The important thing is to remember, still, this is a professional thing, and you just get to share with your therapist, explore. But of course, we are not allowed to have relationships with our clients up to maybe like until 2 years after the therapy session. Which, are you really willing to wait for 2 years to get someone? I don't know. The other thing to remember is that some people complain about the charges. Therapy can even be free depending on where you go. If it's in a public hospital, if it's in NGO that is offering free services, to now private therapies, to others who might charge from 1,000, 1,500 to 5,000, 10,000, you name it. It can cost as much as you want, so the choice is yours. Just like we choose to go either to a public hospital or a private hospital, you do not expect the charges or the services to be the same. The other thing is, of course, most people wait until they are in a crisis or until vitu zimeumana to be able to go to therapy, and this is not supposed to be the case. You can go to therapy when you feel like your relationship has issues. You can go to therapy when you're feeling confused. You can go to therapy when you have issues with your work, with your family, with your friendships, just wanting to know yourself, just the curiosity of what therapy is about. I mean, you can go to therapy at any time and you will find that maybe you can get to gain from it. So don't you wait until things are really bad for you to rush there. It is not going to be a quick fix for you. So just go. It's good to even just have a personal therapist whom you go to every time at least you are having an issue. So the other thing that you may be wondering about is the kind of therapist that you're getting. I know most of us don't even know that many therapists, but just like any other professions, therapists are very different. So it is very good to look for the one that matches you, the one who is like you, the one you're most compatible with. Remember, this is a relationship, yeah? And for you to be in a relationship, to be comfortable, to share, you have to really vibe with the person or just be compatible with them. So it is very important to do that. You may find that you have a preference on the age, on the gender, on their techniques of counseling. So just do a check. Even ask them how they do this. Are they experienced? Are they new in this? Do they have a master's degree, a PhD, or a diploma certificate? It is very, very important to be intentional about it so that at least you can make sure you get the most out of these therapy sessions. So that is mostly about therapy. If you have any other question, just put it in the comment section down below. But I hope that I have at least answered some of the questions that you may have, so that you can eventually start therapy. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment down below, share with someone who might need therapy. And until next time, remember that mental health is for everyone.